This upcoming Sunday, March the 31st, we have a bit of a cracker on our hands, don't we? The two British Titans, Fabio Wardley versus Frazer Clarke, occurs for all the diamonds, the British and Commonwealth titles. What a treat for a Sunday. We get to enjoy our roast dinners, enjoy our Easter eggs, have a few beerios, and watch Clarke and Wardley smash the absolute crackling out of each other. One good Yorkshire pud. Bash. As we're all aware, this fight has been spoken at length and has been long in the making. Their rivalry began quite tame, but as time's gone on, they've had a few spats, a few back and forths, and now that frying pan is sizzling. Someone wants all the roast potatoes and gravy. I, personally, still have arguments about it now. Either one of them wants to be the king of Britain. Anyway, there's been a lot of pulling and tugging. Purse bid issues, Clarke making out he wanted the fight. To be fair, he probably wasn't ready at that point, and he was probably also advised not to take it because of networking issues. You know, your Sky versus BT, your Sky versus DAZN, etc, etc. Good old Ben Shalom. But yeah, that purse bid debacle really did put Frazer Clarke in a bad light, and Fabio Wardley has just poked fun at him ever since. It's really ignited a fire under Clarke, and now Clarke really wants to prove something. War of words have happened on X and in person, which has ruffled some feathers. Bark! Cockfight! And there's been a bit of home ground football rivalry to get those fans going. I think it's fair to say that the favourite going into this fight is Fabio Wardley. Both men holster a lot of experience, but Wardley holds much more professional experience. Yes, Clarke's had a lot of amateur fights. He was a bronze medalist. But look at Audley Harrison. I'm not putting Frazer Clarke at the same calibre as an Audley Harrison, but we haven't seen him catch fire yet. His performances have been quite underwhelming. As it currently stands, both of them are undefeated. Fabio Wardley holds a record of 17 wins and 16 wins coming by knockout. Frazer Clarke has a record of 8 wins with 6 coming by knockout. From a competition standpoint, especially in the professional ranks, you've got to say that Fabio Wardley has been in with the much stiffer and more competitive competition. Whereas you gotta say that Frazer Clarke has been in with a few puds. The Maris Wack and David Allen fights, honestly, sent me to sleep. As for the fight, I'm going to come out and say it. I see a very easy and comfortable win for Fabio Wardley. I think for most people, that's the common consensus. The reason I think this is because I think Fabio Wardley's style is all wrong for Frazer Clarke. Clarke is a bit of a plodder, whereas Wardley is quite quick, he's quite nimble and quite speedy on his feet. To add, the hand speed between them both is so far apart. I've described Wardley before as having cruiserweight speed but heavyweight power. The man is also just a warrior, a fighter through and through. And what he lacks in technique, he makes up with his mindset. He's just super spiteful, a ferocious fighter. In this fight, I imagine Wardley being on the back foot and Clarke applying the pressure. Clarke, a man that plods forward, is slower in comparison, and he's quite easy to hit. I just see Wardley having a field day in that ring on that night. I just think that Wardley will go to the body, he'll counter him with those looping shots round the guard, and also come above with his overhand rights. I also just think that Wardley has experienced that stardom under the lights. He knows what it's like to get hot in the kitchen, and he's managed it well. With Clarke, he hasn't experienced the big stage. He hasn't gone through and undergone the same pressure that Wardley has faced in the past. The only time he's probably only experienced that pressure was back in the Olympics. But that was way back when, and in the professional ranks, the crowds, the stadiums, are a different story. The few things that I think Clarke has over Wardley is his strength. If he wants to do damage, he's going to have to bully him. Clarke has also experienced the championship rounds. He's gone the full stretch, whereas Wardley hasn't. So if he wants to take advantage of Wardley, he's going to have to take him into deep waters. That, if I'm honest, is the only way I see him winning. I think the only thing he has on his side as well is that he's had that wealth of amateur experience. He's seen fighters come up from all different backgrounds, and he would have found a fighter similar to Wardley with that pop and that ferociousness. But again, it just all depends on how he will handle it on the night. I am going to say all this to say this though. I think Fabio Wardley does a demolition job on Frazer Clarke. Cooks him like a good roast chicken. I respect Clarke, but I just think Fabio Wardley, he's just too quick, too powerful. He's got that inner fighter in him. And when the going gets tough, he fights fire with fire. So for all the above reasons that I've mentioned, I'm going to pick Wardley to stop Frazer Clarke in 3 or 4 rounds. But anyway, I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to drop a like, subscribe and comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Bash!